Okay, let's think about a few more examples where curves might shift. So one example we might think about is the sweater market. So getting to be fall, people might be buying sweaters. And so if we have a demand and a supply for sweaters, we'll have an equilibrium quantity and an equilibrium price. And let's say that the wages of the people who work in the sweater factory increase. So that would be an input, the sweater employees, and an input in an increase in the price of the sweater. The sweater workers is going to have an effect on the supply curve because they're part of the production, and in fact, it's going to make the supply curve shift to the left. Because at any given price of sweaters, producers are willing to supply fewer of them, given the fact that they have to pay higher wages to their workers. And so the equilibrium quantity of a sweater is going to be lower, and the equilibrium price will be higher because of the increase in the price, or the increase of the wage to the people who are making the sweaters. Now let's think about what would happen if we had this scenario, but then also the price of jackets fell. Now recognize that jackets are a substitute for sweaters, so if the price of jackets fell, then the consumers are going to be more interested in buying jackets, so the quantity demanded of jackets is going to increase as we move down the demand curve for jackets, and folks are going to be less interested in purchasing sweaters because of the fact that they're going to want jackets. That's a substitute. And so that means that the demand curve for sweaters is going to shift back, or to the left, or down really, because of the decrease in the price of sweaters, the substitute. And so I guess I have the red and the black, so now we'll move the blue here to show the shift of the demand curve for sweaters because of the decrease in the price of jackets. And so compared to where we were just with the after the increase in the wages, the price of sweaters is going to come down, and of course the quantity demanded of sweaters is going to, or the quantity is going to come down. But if we think about where we were before both of these changes, so let's think both of these changes happening at the same time, where the price of where the wages for the sweater manufacturer workers goes up, and then the demand for sweaters goes down because of the fact that the price of jackets has come down. We're going to compare it to where we were at the very beginning. The quantity is way down. No question that the quantity of sweaters has gone down, but we're not really sure what's going to happen to the price of sweaters. That increase in the wages to the sweater workers has increased, tended to increase the price of sweaters, but the decrease in demand due to the fact that the price of jackets has gone down would tend to decrease the price of sweaters. So we're not really sure what's going to happen to the overall price of sweaters from where it was at the beginning. We're not sure if it's going to be up or down after both of these changes because they are moving in opposite directions. But they're both moving in the same direction with regard to quantity. We're going to lose some quantity due to that shift up of the supply curve, or shift to the left of the supply curve because of the higher wages, and then we're going to lose more quantity due to the fact that the demand curve has shifted down because of the decrease in the price of jackets. So quantity definitely lower, price uncertain. And I'll give one more example in this little section. Let's think about the market for orange juice and what might happen if the price of cranberry juice were to fall. Well, if the price of cranberry juice were to fall, we would understand that this would lead to a decrease in demand for orange juice because consumers are going to get substitutes, and so more people would drink cranberry juice because the price has fallen and moving down the demand curve for cranberry juice to a lower price, or to a greater quantity demanded due to the lower price, and this would then have the effect of shifting down the demand curve for orange juice, and recognize that this means we're shifting along the supply curve. So the shift of one curve in this case the demand curve, is a movement along the other. So we're moving along the supply curve to a lower price and a smaller quantity demanded. So this is the quantity after the price after the drop in the price of cranberry juice in our orange juice market. And of course, this was our original quantity demanded, or quantity demanded and supplied, our equilibrium quantity, and our equilibrium price at the before the change in the prices of cranberry juice. And so recognize that if all we knew that was that there was a change in the price of orange juice, and we were thinking about the supply curve, we would say we were moving along. And so we're moving along the supply curve to that lower price. And of course, we know that that means that there was a shift in the demand curve for orange juice. And it was because of the decrease in the price of cranberry juice, which is a substitute.